House rule is I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm human. That's fine. We're here in a safe space to learn. And third, if the thing crashes, meaning OBS or any stream, I will be back on. Or if I get a phone call and my phone starts to pop out, that's all right. I'll be back. We got a big evening tonight. The presidential debate is about to come on. I don't want to hold up your time. I'm probably competing with some sports. But I wanted to tune in. I wanted to have a good little power chat. And I'm learning how to get comfortable with my own schedule here. So I apologize if you were able to see the time and we're not on track. Had some family time that I spent. And unapologetically, I really just need to have that time with family. So with that being said, tonight I'm about to have a power chat with you. A first of very many more. And it's right before, unmistakably, one big event, the presidential debate. And with that, we are about to have this power chat on knowing your why. I won't hold you. I know I don't even have that much time in the beginning to get your attention. That's what they tell you when you're learning marketing. So I want to keep your time and keep you very interested early on, give you the information you need, and let you have the rest of your night. And I'm excited to be here with you, and it's truly my honor and my blessing. With that, I'm praying, God, you give me the strength and the guidance to speak and share the information you would like me to share and to be able to help someone other than myself. So this evening, knowing your why is what it's boiling down to. I am very, very, very excited with the idea that I had time to spend time with my family, speak about my why, and it helped me to realize, why am I doing all of this anyway? And I had to sit back and say, well, man, what's in it for me? Number one, I know my dog is crying. He wants to kind of take a second. I'm probably going to do the right thing and go let him get some time real quick. But my why am I doing all of this? Why am I doing anything? Well, what's in it for me? If you want the truth, what's in it for me is I'm looking to get my attorneys paid so I can launch my fund and start my business and make a difference in the world that I live in. That's point blank, period. I have attorney work that I would like to do. It is not or A to B road to launching a fund. It takes paperwork. You got to go through the SEC. You got to do the things, and I want to build something that's strong and on foundation, so that way if I'm an opportunity that other people can invest in, it was done right. That's what's in it for me. And how do you do that? Truth be told, it costs money. So that's what's in it for me. That's what my goal is. I've been relentless ever since I had this vision. I was blessed with it, and I've been going after it. Things on the internet have opportunities like you never before, and when you put them to practice, I've learned, play with your skills. Play to your skills. What's up, buddy? What's up, little Scoob? What's up, little Scoob? You wanted me to go live on my live screen? See, I told y'all about that family time. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. Tap in. I know it's not traditional, but hey, family matters, right? So we're live. I'm going to go ahead, take them out, and I'll be right back. Sorry, buddy. Alright, I'm back. My dog, as if anybody knows you got a dog, I probably, this is the most authentic me, and that's what y'all gonna get. Anybody that knows you got a dog, anytime they cry, now he wanna be Mr. Protector, but that mean they gotta go out. But anyway, Scooby, love him. My why, good point to start. My family, man, my family. I got something written down here. I don't know if you ever heard of Sinek. He wrote the book, and this is Book Club Thursday. So Book Club Thursday, start with the why. One of the biggest books that I read, changed my perspective. The way he built that circle. Actually, I forgot that I am live, so I believe I can get you all in on that. There we go. So Simon Sinek, start with the why. Great book, read it myself, one of the best. He actually has a TED Talk. I believe I watched that as well. I remember it now, but this is start with the why. It says straight up, and this is like the real fast cliff notes because I'm getting to the point here with you. I told you what my why is, what is in it for me, and I'm letting you know this is one of the things that I build my ideas around. He was even saying businesses. People and businesses that do this well, they succeed because they don't start with the what. Everybody wants to know what, right? Watch an Apple commercial. This is his words, and I'm paraphrasing rough. You always see their why. They make you feel something, and it was to challenge the status quo. The how, then they let you know how they do it, which is okay. They challenge the status quo with their designs, with also being some of the most they feel like the most functional and the easiest to work operating systems. And then they show you an iPhone, then they show you a MacBook, then they show you an iPad. Bam. That's the why. It's hard. It's hard when you work from the outside in. You know, outside in looks like an infomercial. Get this XYZ. This is how it works, and this is why. Or sometimes they never tell you why you should even buy the product. They just show you what it is, how it works, and they want you to buy. And that's how I think I even started off, and I still make the mistake. I start things and I tell you what it is and how it is. It shows a why. The why is what matters because that's what relates. When you, like the big saying is, a lot of people don't remember what you said is how you made them feel. That's part of that why. It's part of what made sense to them. What was it part of their them growing up. So with that being said, I want to have this power chat today about you finding your why and know how I've been reading books and what I've been taking in, and also just as a power side chat and a truly transparent one before one very big event in our in my generation, and also every year's nothing, like I said, this is it's a space. We are not politically bashing, but we are all very well knowing that a presidential debate is important. It's something that we all want. So with that being said, knowing your why is important, whether you're a politician, whether you're a business person, whether you're an employee, when you're a family member, if you're about to have marriage, if you're a parent. Knowing your why helps you to ground yourself. And I had to ground myself today. I'm about to tap into a little bit of a situation. I didn't want to waste your time. I know we had Scooby steal the show tonight, but you know what? Those who will listen, it's because I represent something that's authentic. So that's what I'm about. I heard it also being said, I'd rather be famous to 1,000 people that will always, you understand them and they work with you through every phase. And I know I'm speaking to 1,000 right people is a better way to say it, than be famous to 1 million or 2 million or whatever million people that I don't know if I'm really resonating with you. And those people are the ones that I am strictly really rooting for us all to win, because I want to find my tribe. And I can only do that by, sometimes you got to pop your head out and you got to say, hey, this is me, who relates, and I have to listen. I do a lot of time talking, and my purpose for telling you about that is because I remember, like I told y'all, I might get calls. I just got a call. So I remember, like every day that I'm grinding away and I'm trying to figure out, well, what is my why? Why do I do what I do? I had to remember, it's not always built for you to succeed if you don't know what you're playing against. If you don't know what you're up against, then how can you succeed sometimes? And luck favors those who are in a position that already prepared. But with that being said, man, you got to understand why you're doing it to even want to stay in the fight. It gets tough. It gets hard sometimes. You face these challenges you don't know, man. Look, 5 years ago, I mean, what? My first presidential election was 2016, and I did some research. I grinded. I tried to figure out what I needed to do, but there was no playbook. There's no playbook on how to vote. It's not bipartisan. I mean, this is not one way or the other. But what I meant to say is, it's not like a structured way to tell you how you should vote. There's no structured way to tell you exactly all the time how you should start your business. There's no structured way to tell you how you should succeed in school, how you should succeed on the field, how you should succeed on the screen. Whatever your passion is, succeed at writing a book. There is some people you can go to, get some wisdom, and they can tell you how they did it. That doesn't guarantee success. As an investor or as an investment manager, the position that I'm manifesting myself to become into, there's no structured way to be the most successful investment manager. No. Life experiences. And you know what keeps you going and not compromising who you are and what you believe? Because your gut feeling matters. And that is your why. So that was my little sermon tonight. But I have written down in my notes, vision, not giving up, playing your position, executing, and studying the game. Earlier today, we had a time on our home series where we watched I Am Athlete. And we talked about, we got to listen and talk about some of the things that Fred Taylor, Crowder, Chad Ochocinco or Chad Johnson, and Brandon Marshall were talking about athletes with money. But that applies to a lot of people. And for me, growing up, man, that was the standard. Look, you go pro in sports, you good. Or you get a record label or record deal, you good. That was the key. Or you get on TV. And I opened my eyes and realized, like, in my frame, and I love my frame, and I'm loving my frame every day, it didn't look like I was going to be in the lead. And now it doesn't mean that. And maybe also, too, I lost any type of passion for pursuing that because that wasn't what was in my why. I knew what my why was, and I wanted to diversify something. I wanted to add value to something. I had to learn my skills. And then that helped me to learn to play my position. If I'm not the star athlete, if I'm not LeBron James, if I'm not Serena Williams, obviously we know gender is different, but if I'm not XYZ or Tiger Woods or the greatest to ever do it in the sport, you still got to play your position. There's a role player. Then I started to learn maybe I'm not even supposed to be on the field. But you know what? One thing I fell in love with and the thing I wanted to change is understand how the ownership box works. Why do these companies put their names on these arenas? Why do they get these different type of sponsorships? And I started to realize no one's bigger than the other. We all play our position. But I wanted to understand that world. And that brought me into the world of finance. And finance is a position where I feel like I could work to be and manifest myself to be someone that can make a difference. Because it's a difference, not a trophy at that point. To me, the end goal is how many people can I help? How much change can I make? And you give up on something that's bigger than you, but you have to be a part of something that's bigger than you. Some things that I also wanted to write down is execute. How the heck do you execute? But right now, you can't mope. Sit around and do what? Cry about what? Look, I told you what's in it for me. I'm trying to pay my lawyer. My priority is to pay my lawyers. Get my accountants, my CPAs, my tax attorneys, get them right so I can launch a fund. From the fund, I want to then make a change. I want to be able to position my family in one, and you can't save anybody else until you can save yourself. So number one is to align my interests, and I know the first thing I can do to save myself is to structure my life in a way that I can maintain it. And that is making sure my income does not dip below my expenses. That's called working against the clock, going into debt, and not having enough assets to cover your liabilities, right? Had to learn that. It's not always taught to you. Sometimes it's implied, but teaching is different than implying. People can imply to you not to get in debt, but you got to learn it. When you get your first credit card and you don't pay it off, guess what? That's a lesson learned. People can imply to you all day how good it is to pay your bills, but if you get into a situation and you got to learn a lesson, you got to make a decision. You got to make a choice. Do I want to live through this for the rest of my life? Exactly. That is a lesson that you have to learn. Our parents speak to us. They tell us all the time things that they want, right? That they want to see us do. But I know for a fact, sometimes you will have to learn that lesson yourself. Like your mama or your grandma or your father or your uncle or somebody told you, don't put your hand on a stove. I done burnt my hand before, but I'm still living. You know what? And I don't put my hand on the stove anymore. So the point, we got to understand from an aspect of something that I do agree with Brandon Marshall and them said is money does universally kind of relate a lot of us, right? We all got to pay our bills. We all got to eat. We all got to have a house. And 9 times out of 10, most of us have to pay something or someone to do that. And I think a big part of where I've been growing up and things that I subscribe to is the idea of financial freedom, being wealthy. Most of the songs I listen to, even the scriptures that I really sermons that I even dig in deeper is the ones that seem to solve my problem. Because if I can't solve your problem, then why would you listen? That's facts. If I'm not solving your problem, if your problem is one to be entertained and I'm not entertaining you, you turn this off. If I'm not helping you build your business and your problem is one to help build your business, you're turning this off. And that's what we make that decision every day with our cell phone, with our TV, the way we buy things, the way that we invest in things. If it's not solving our problem, we won't. You can sit here and complain about being self-assured, but what does that do? So what are you left with, right? I want to solve a problem to 1,000 people that are just like me, right? You have a situation that you want to change. You don't know how to change it, and you're driving through life trying to figure out exactly how the heck do I solve this. And if you have faith, if you are a faithful person, then maybe you're figuring out, how do I trust God enough? What can I do? What does God want me to do to change my situation? Because I know I'm not supposed to sit here, and I know my family isn't supposed to struggle forever. I know it's bigger than this. I know it's bigger than that. And if there's rules out there that I know other people play by, I want to play that game. I don't want to play minor leagues forever. I want to go pro. Like, let's keep it in the spirit of sports. I don't want to play little league forever. I want to go pro. I want to play at that level. And perfect time to bring this in, and then we'll tap in online. Like I said, I want to give you guys enough time to have a debate, but my only goal is that you understand my why and you understand yours, more importantly, because we have to communicate effectively and clear enough for us to make a decision moving forward. And that's something that I know was digging in my heart when I was speaking to family. How can I know my why? Like, backwards, you got to be relentless. Like the back of your hand, front and back. And you got to be relentless. You're going to want to give up 9,999 times, whatever, just for you to get that one time to succeed, and you'll never, ever, ever doubt everything you went through before. And when times get tough, you think about all those times you fell and you fell and you fell and you failed and you failed and you fell and you failed and you failed and you just didn't get it right. But you stayed faithful. You probably prayed, or you had hope, and you had a strategy, and you executed it, and you did not look back. Because there's going to be 110 things rushing you every single day. I got on live. My dog wasn't crying for the last hour. Got online. My dog wanted to go out, use the bathroom. We adjust. And now we all have the opportunity to make that decision in our life. But you have to know your why. Because when times get tough, you know the rest. Now, in my book, I have been able, and here's another thing. Why the heck did I write a book? You know why? Because I had nothing else to do. I had nothing else to lose. If somebody would have told me you could write a book, I would have delayed it. But you know what? I had nothing else to do. I had a message to put out, and I knew I wanted to also have something that I could give somebody physically. Selling a book, great opportunity, right? And did I do great at it? Heck no. Some might say I would fail, but I would quote Larry Jew. If I own my masters, I can never flop. I learned how to get a copyright in. I learned how to push a product physically. I was able to see something in print from my mind, and it made me believe I could do it again. I was able to give it to people, share my voice, share some of the things that I've learned, my lessons, in a bite-sized book to some other people. I've been blessed to write messages thanking people. And that is what it's about, because it's not about sometimes the material aspects, even though we're going to get to that right now. Sometimes it's about just remembering why you do it. And like I said, you fail 9,999 times and you get it right once. That's all it takes. And you learn everything of the lessons. Now, I wanted to point out in the book is that one of the areas that I've been talking about, and it's perfect. I think this is my mom book, by the way. Gave her a book. This right here, I know it's probably backwards, but it says flatten your expenses and increase your income. And this is perfect opportunity. You know what? Not perfect. Launched it with a spelling error. You know, you can't be afraid, man. I didn't notice that to today, but you know what? It's better than me never putting it together. If I got one spelling, but that's not the point. But flatten your expenses and increase your income. I'm still talking about the same thing. Consistency, because I'm learning. And one of the areas that I know is like we don't want to give up for little handouts. Like, look, man, I've been studying about banks. I've been studying about what did happen in the '08 crisis. Man, I found out about Khan Academy. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, which means I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, which means I'm gonna stay 100% truthful. Khan Academy may not be perfect, but look, I got out of school 2 years ago. I'm still grinding, learning every day. Let's go straight into the last part, where I want to say, not only executing and playing your position, not giving up and knowing your vision, but studying the game. And I'll let you go. We all got a lot of time to study the game of this debate, and I think that's a great opportunity for me to like kind of de-wind and probably get worked up about, just like passionate about learning some more things. But with that being said, I want to leave you with something that's like tangible. Outside of joining this amazing Discord channel that I would love to build this community, have these discussions every day, and you know, iron sharpens iron, and I hope that I could be enough help for you to sharpen your skills, and I can sharpen my skills with you, and we can all grow together. Rooting for you all to win is not a PR stunt. It's what I believe. I believe we all can win, man. So back to what it said. Here's something that I learned. I spent $2,000. Actually, to keep it 100 with you, I borrowed $2,000 from somebody. Put that in a consultant. No name bashing, nothing. Don't ask me. I won't tell you. If not in my circle, you'll never know, because I love the fact that it happened like this. I had to learn a lesson. Did I get some help? Yes. A business consultant. I've been studying business since I was in high school. My first business was trying to start DJing. Then I did fashion. Shoot, I probably in middle school, whatever, all these ideas that people say, yeah, it really does happen that way. I'm still not successful yet, but you know what? That don't stop me from helping and sharing a lesson, because I learned a lot of lessons. So I put $2,000 into this investment thinking that I would get XYZ. All right, my why was to further my fund. I wanted to make sure I could get my fund all the help I needed. And the best thing I learned, even though I didn't feel like maybe the results I didn't get was what I was hoping for, is how to study at the core. Go to the root. At some point, I just .gov everything, bro. Just .gov. Just .gov sometimes. And look, you'll see states, you'll see cities. I think maybe my phone search was a little better. But I had to start realizing, well, what is the government putting out? Maybe I could start at the top. Maybe who regulates everything, or who puts laws into effect. So I go here and I started figuring things out. Like, where did I want to go? Now here, you could go to us.gov. You can go here, see benefits, grants, and loans. And I'm going to speak on the things that I also learned. Government agencies, XYZ. Now, is benefits, grants, and loans going to be the number one thing that's going to help? No, excuse my language. But you learn the game, and you keep piecing it together. You piece your story together until you figure out where you get to the root. So for me in my industry, it was sec.gov. And I started studying the game, man. I wanted to know, how do you get on Wall Street? First of all, I didn't know what Wall Street meant. I grew up in New York. I knew it was a street. Then I started realizing they did stock exchange. Then I got into the lingo that you start learning the language. And I'm going to leave this in 2 minutes. So hang with me another 120 seconds. Go here, and I figured out if I search this and I grind and I read people's stuff, it's a way that I can get the knowledge that I need. And that's what gave me the ability to remember my why. When it gets tough and I see people raising $1 billion and I try to figure out how do I even get the conversation started with some folks, I never give up. You got to be freaking relentless. You cannot give up. And I'm speaking to myself, speaking to all my friends, family friends, fans, whatever you want to call everybody. I'm speaking to them, and I'm speaking to say this. If your goal is to be the best at XYZ, study it from the top. There's going to be a lot of things that get in front of you that flash, that shine, that look like gold, but it ain't gold. It ain't diamonds. You know what it is? An opportunity to learn it from the top down, to help those people that, you know, are showing you that they got all of this. They got this, that, and everything. I mean, real estate, everyone sells things in real estate. Courses, they sell XYZ. They sell your product, software, left, right? And if I'm trying to get into real estate, I'm going to make that investment great. I went to college. That cost me $20,000 I did not have, and I got a loan for it. Education ain't free. For some people, it's a business. But what I learned out of all these lessons and how I learned is sometimes that degree didn't make me an automatic millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire. I'm not Amazon level right now, but what it taught me was some lessons. And that taught me how to get to where I need to go. I learned if I'm trying to be a doctor, maybe I need to go to the best doctor. Med school. If I'm trying to be a lawyer, maybe I need to go to the best law school. But then I realized there's this space in this world where there's a finance section for me, where I realized, hey, there's a lot of people that did not go to college, did not graduate college, making a ton of money and making a lot of difference. It's not all about money, but I figured the opportunity that you can have. I didn't grow up with the choices, the opportunities to help a lot of people. You know, we make ends meet. We rub together our hands and we wish upon a star. We say a prayer. But if I know anything, man, and I learned about faith, you got to have faith, man. You got to be relentless. That's not the way you were supposed to live. So when you're here, sec.gov, you go in there to learn about buying stock. That's where you go. I'm not giving no legal advice, financial advice. This is knowledge. You want another site? Investor.gov. We're going to have to reschedule this for another day. Investor.gov. Bam. You know, my $2,000 lesson, I won't ever call it. It was a lesson, man. Let's keep it 100. Would I do it again? Who knows? But I know I wouldn't be mad if somebody told me where to go to find the knowledge. And it's common sense to some, but some it's not. Invested.govs tell you how to invest, where to go, where to allocate your resources. You want to learn about what not to do? DOJ.gov. If you're in my position, you learn what the Department of Justice is doing. Let me go to DOJ. Department of Justice, sorry, .gov. Come here, look at this. Goldman Sachs charged in foreign bribery case agrees to pay over $2.9 billion. Are you paying $2.9 billion today? I hope that become a meme. Because that is what I'm saying, bro. When we look back on life and we say, well, what were our options? Let's study the game for the top. If I want to be Michael Jordan, I'm going to study Michael Jordan. And if I want to be better than Michael Jordan, I'm going to study who Michael Jordan studied. Who are you studying that they were studying? Don't look at where you want to be. Look at where they wanted to be. Study your mentor's mentors. And that's what you got to figure out. Your why. And you position yourself to be relentless. To learn what the people that are within the arm's reach. Learn above them. Because guess what? They're going to want you in their corner. Being successful is lonely. Remember that. But it doesn't have to be. Room for all you to win. Room for all of us to win. And you. Academy, man. It's been a crazy power chat. But I know it's 8:58 and I got to watch this presidential debate. Like I said, this is a place not for bashing. So if you leave the political bashing out, you can do that on Twitter. You can do that somewhere else, but don't do it here. But if you got advice for somebody else and you want to help us show how we could be in this position as a group to maybe not go down the fraud route, or maybe, I don't know what the case is. That's why I want to pay lawyers, but at least be in the news with $2.9 billion being in your name, then let's get it, man. That's what it's about being here. It's about teaming up and making the dream work. So with much love and much humbleness, and I know you're working with me through the kinks, I'll be back probably to play some chess tonight. But I appreciate the time, just releasing my heart. And again, what's my why? What's in it for me? I'm trying to pay my lawyers. I want to get more lawyers because that's what this whole world is built on. Sorry, I got another call. Whole U.S. is built on its laws, and that's what we're about to watch, arguing about policies and debating and how we want to move this country. And with you, every day, go to the source, understand it, and pay for the help you need. And with that, I leave you with much blessings, much success, and I'll see you again. But remember, I'm trying to get my fund. So if you ever ask, well, what's his why? What does he do? I do it for that because my bigger why is to diversify the space in this world that I believe is the finance world. And I want to make it very more so robust. And I would love to be a part of something. And I just feel like that's just my field. Like how people know naturally they'll be great at a sport. I don't know if I'll be great at finance, but I really do feel like I'll make a difference in that space. So peace, love. Let's go watch the debate. I'll see y'all later. Let me know what y'all